Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our F1 23 driver career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. We are fresh off of Fernando Alonso's 5th victory of the season last episode in the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix. We now find ourselves headed into Monza, a completely different circuit, of course, from the Netherlands. A lot of high-speed focus here on this circuit now as we are coming off of a 4th place effort ourselves, and we are going to need to get on with things here today and make up some big points on the top 3 if we want to continue to fight for a championship here in just our 2nd season in Formula 1. 2 wins on the season coming into this episode as well. We might have an announcement, I am learning, on the way very soon, and when I say very soon, I'm hearing maybe in the next episode or 2 on the future of either the AlphaTauri racing team or Sauber, but we'll have to stay tuned on that one. But I'm hearing that both teams are now going into the process of finalizing some partnerships going into season number 3 of this career mode here. Now we are of course in that final part of the season swing after this summer break when we came back there in Zandvoort here, but yeah, we got some work to do today. Alonso 5 wins now on the season. We have 2, Monaco and the Hungarian Grand Prix, Russell with 3, Hamilton with what 4 or 5 as well. So it's really looking like right now it's going to be a Hamilton-Alonso kind of fight here. We ended up P3 in practice while Alonso was P6 there, as you can see the rest of the order. I was expecting Haas to be a big threat this weekend, of course, because of the top-end speed being such a focus when it comes to Monza. But we'll have to wait and find out as we come through to Saturday afternoon, getting ready to put some laps down in qualifying. I saw someone said I should use a modded custom helmet, so I might start using one of those here. Let me know down below right now, should I use a modded helmet or not? If you guys want, I can definitely look at getting one here now as we come through into Q1. This is late in Q number 1 here now, making my first attempt within the final moments of the session. We go P8, but I would run a second lap and we would find about nearly 0.2 of a second and we would still end up P8. So Alonso P5, it was De Vries and the Haas immediately out that I noticed. So the Alfa Romeo Haas is going to be out with De Vries, but Magnussen was able to make it through. So Q2, now of course looking for 2 laps again. We have enough battery in the car to do 2 laps here at Monza. So, if we make a mistake on this first lap, it's not the end of the world. And we come through to the end of the first lap, and it was 15th. It wasn't pretty, so we have to make a second attempt here. Now we find a little bit of time, about 1/10 of a second gain, nearly 2/10 of a second here at the end of that first sector. Now through sector 2, and you can see going a little bit wide right there. That gives us up about 1/2. Not what we want to do, and this was just a bit of a rough sector, getting a little bit too much curb. So I decided we got to lick the stamp and send it. We sail it off into the chicane, find a bunch of time, nearly 3/10 of improvement. We find even more time, and then the final corner, we bottom out there over the curb. We lose about 1/10 of a second. That could be the difference maker. It is. It's only P11 in Q2. We are out, and look at the time we missed it by. If I didn't bottom out over the curbing there, we make it into Q3. A driver error puts us out, and we have some work to do come Sunday. Let's head to the grid.
Welcome to the home of the Parabolica, now known as the Curva Alboreto in tribute to the Italian motorsport legend Michele Alboreto. It's a long right-hander. It dares you to keep your foot as far down on the throttle as you possibly can. It's one of the great corners on the calendar, and we're here at Monza ahead of the Italian Grand Prix.
Big day for you, Gary, to stay in the title fight. What's the plan?
100%. This, that's all I have. Move forward and see what we can do. It's going to be a long day.
What about you, Fernando?
Same thing as my teammate. Just give it 100% and win the race.
A big race here that will likely determine who Aston Martin puts their focus on for the title fight, guys. Owen needs to step up today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Golden Boy, Ocon, Gasly, Russell, Magnussen, Bottas, De Vries, Joe, Sargent, Stroll, and Yuki Tsunoda. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
All right, we're ready to roll. Russell takes a grid penalty, so we go up to P10. I see softs and mediums, of course, as usual. I decide, although I'm not a fan of the softs, we're going to go into the softs and try to change it up and do something different from the competition. Let's get ready to roll here with Lando Norris on pole in Monza.
The formation lap gets underway here at this historic track in Italy. Some monumental moments in history have come from right here. Will we be treated to another today? So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
All right, mate, everything you have today, I need it from you.
Yeah, 10-4. It was a rough Saturday, but let's just give it everything we have. Let's work as a team and make it happen. Ready to roll. This is a big race, and I'll explain shortly, but Saturday has become a bit of a weakness for us in the last, 3-4 Grand Prix weekends now. Lando Norris on pole. McLaren has brought some pace. Let's see if they can keep it. It's going to be lights out. We're underway. Norris, Hamilton, you got as well. Verstappen, Leclerc up here. Alonso with a great start already up the nearly the inside of Hamilton. Norris, your pole winner, down to third place. 3 wide into turn 1, and that's Carlos Sainz going for the overtake now around the outside of Alonso. He might be successful. Norris drops back to 4th after starting pole position. I myself, it was pretty clean. I didn't gain a whole lot, didn't lose anything either. Hamilton's already long gone, saying see you later, and you can see that Alonso, well, sure enough to cycle through and hang on to 2nd place. Norris only 1 spot ahead of his teammate of Oscar Piastri now. I settle in P7, so we gain 3 spots on the start. Perez, Gasly behind myself, but Verstappen, Piastri ahead of us in the Red Bull, as well as the McLaren. As I was saying, this is a big Grand Prix for us now. The second race back from the summer break, and basically the signs are showing that after today, Aston Martin's probably going to make a decision on if they're going to put all their resources into helping Alonso fight for the title or keeping myself in the fight as well. So we need to try everything we can to beat Alonso here today. Otherwise, it kind of goes into the team player role, for the rest of the season, unless we, of course, have an opportunity to win the Grand Prix. As you can see, right now, Norris, Piastri side by side. Verstappen can't make up his mind. I'm going to go up the inside of the Red Bull driver, the Dutchman, to the left side here. Now we go wheel to wheel as we go around the outside. Respectful amounts of room from both drivers in the background. You see a fight with Perez, and look at the racing back there actually now. As you can see, we settle into P6. Piastri, Norris, these two drivers both young in the McLarens. Of course, when you're young, you're aggressive, and that's what they were doing in this race so far in just the opening laps, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Look at this aggression on the exit of the chicane. You can see Piastri with a run. Instead of playing the let's work together, he's saying I'm going straight up against my teammate here as we head down towards the long sweeping final turn in Monza. Now, as you can see, Norris goes wide, nearly contact. He overreacts to myself. He slows up in front of Verstappen. So now we're going to have an opportunity with DRS, so up into P5, but we're going to be able to go into P4 as well. So, I mean, a great first 3 full laps and a great start into lap 4 if we can, of course, complete this pass here into turn 1, side by side, wheel to wheel. We leave the room for Piastri to race because I like to race and not just shove my way through the corner and take the line away, because that's not racing in my opinion. We respectfully get that 4th position. The racing insane in these opening laps around us, and it's benefiting myself. And now I'll show you guys a brief example. This is lap 5, and this is Sainz and Alonso battling, and this would just continue to be back and forth between these two. Behind us, we got these drivers battling. Here's Verstappen with an absolutely, massive run on the back of Piastri. He's going to try and go around the outside into turn 1. He'll have the preferred lane into turn 2. Actually, no, he won't, because Piastri is going to be able to get the power down. They would continue side by side, but in the background, look at this, almost a Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta Motor Speedway NASCAR type of racing here, where you got this just absolute pack. It's like we got the Formula NASCAR mod on right now back here. These guys cannot get away from each other. Absolute insanity going on. But we could kind of show it over and over again, but it's really the same thing over and over again. They just keep on going back and forth. Now that's helping me though, because Alonso and Sainz are going back and forth. We have broken away from the battle behind, so we can just focus in on Alonso and Sainz, and we're gaining time every single lap just about here. We come straight through to lap 9, and you can see only about 2 seconds behind these guys as we come through to lap 10. Hamilton's absolutely loving life right now because he's in a similar situation as me. by himself, and everyone else is battling right now. You can see Alonso going at it again with Carlos, the two Spaniards, of course, and Alonso in his final Italian Grand Prix. And you can see the battles continue on lap 10, and that would bring me right into the mix here now. So we have an opportunity to be in second place. Alonso sweeps to the left side of the track. They continue to battle it out. I say, you know what? Let's pit a couple laps early, because we're just going to lose time if we get caught up in a fight with these two drivers. So I decided we're going to come into the pits. We're going to do an undercut. So we're going to put on the mediums now, about 2 laps early. Now, tire wear, not a huge deal. When it comes to Monza, it's mostly straightaways, so we are not really concerned about tire wear. So undercut, very, in my opinion, realistic and good strategy to go with instead of getting caught up in a battle with Sainz and Alonso. So we should be able to come out once this green flag pit stop cycle is over. We should be well ahead of them, and we will be in the second place. Now, the question is, where will we be in relation to Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, who's been in control of this Grand Prix so far? We would have to put some focus on some traffic management. Here we are on the Sauber of Zhou Guanyu. His future up in the air currently going into season number 3 of this career mode. We'll have to wait and see what's going on there, but we overtake him into the chicane, so up into P12. Then, a lap later on Nick DeVries, same location as we pass Zhou. We're going to go around the left side. Pit stop's underway now, so we were up into P10. Alonso is going to be coming in at the end of this lap, so that was the question. Where are we going to be related to him? Sainz stays out, so that's going to be a good chance for Alonso to break free from the battle with Sainz, but we come out way ahead of Fernando. Look at that. He's just exiting now. We're long gone down the road. That's a good 3 seconds just about, I would say, as we head down into turn 1. Next up, though, George Russell. So he is going a little bit longer. So we are going to have to overtake him here, and you're going to see us now on the final straightaway before that final turn. Hamilton's now in from the lead. Sainz as well. Piastri, they're all coming in. So is Perez. We will get just barely enough ahead of Russell into the apex there. But you can see we would cycle through into second place, but we were about 4.5 seconds behind Hamilton, 4.3 ahead of Alonso now, settling into the second position. Everybody around us on hards, as they were doing that medium to hard compound tire strategy. A bit of a mistake right there from myself, but yeah, it's going to be hard to go forward, and it was proving because the timing between myself and Hamilton was increasing. Let's go through the grid here with 10 laps remaining.
Without a safety car, I don't think there's anyone catching Hamilton today. Owen in second, but his medium tyres continue to wear, and that is allowing Alonso to close in.
Sainz in fourth, a bit further behind. How about Verstappen in fifth place? And a great day for Oscar in sixth. Alfa Romeo Haas in seventh as well. A good day for half of the team at least. As I say, that there goes the Ferrari blowing the doors of Magnussen. Pole sitter Lando Norris really hasn't had the day we expected, has he?
Not at all. And there's Gasly firing one up the inside. Norris is going to drop down to 10th. Ted, has there been any issues with Lando?
I have heard nothing, guys. I think they are just really struggling for race pace here today. Unfortunate for them.
It really is a pretty calm day here in Monza so far, and that is going to wrap it up for Through the Grid.
A really calm day. When's the last time we've even had a safety car? I don't remember. Nonetheless, we continue here running in second place, lap 20 of 27. You can see the gap to Hamilton increasing and the gap to Alonso and Sainz decreasing now, 2.4 seconds between myself and my teammate of Alonso. Piastri's continuing to fight with Max Verstappen in these closing moments. Lap 21, the gains from Alonso now. He's caught about 2 to 3 tenths of a second on us over the course of the last lap. Now about 2 seconds flat here, just about. It is now that 2.0 range down to 1.9 here as we head down towards the chicane. Actually got to get a little bit too aggressive right there on the track limits, and now we've lost it. We've gone around into the barrier and we're out. In Monza, we've completely bended the first mistake all day, and it's a big one. We're out in Monza, a corner on the track where it's so easy to do exactly what I just did, and now it's day over. Just like that, we went from, of course, we were like going to be fighting for second place, third place with Alonso, and, and just like the snap of a finger right there, we're out as Hamilton would hang on to the victory. No safety car would come out based off what I would see in the timings in the leaderboard, but that's going to be I would say the nail in the coffin. Our championship run, it wasn't meant to be. Going up against, you know, the likes of Hamilton and Alonso in just our second season in Formula One, it's not enough from us. And our championship run definitely comes to an end here. And I'm sure Lawrence Stroll is going to have a chat with us going into the next episode. Maybe about a bit more than the championship situation, a little bit further than that as well. But we're going to have to wait and see going into Singapore. But it is what it is. I just pushed too hard. You know, I abused the track limits right there. That was my first warning, I think, the whole race, and then I just, you know, it led to a silly error immediately after, within a second. So, really disappointing. Hamilton's going to celebrate on the top step of the podium. I don't know where the turn one went there. Behind the drivers, it kind of disappeared. Look at that. Where'd the track go? It's all gone. All right. But nonetheless, Alonso and Sainz join Hamilton on the podium. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris rebounded to P6 after he was down in, what, 10th or so. But yeah, we're 96 points out. We're not making that up. It's pretty simple. So now I'm sure we'll get confirmation, like I said, in the next episode. It's all about trying to fight for the constructors and assist Alonso in his fight for the Drivers' Championship as well. Unfortunate, in the next one we head to Singapore with a brand new layout, by the way, and my favorite Grand Prix in the world. So hopefully we can step back up. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day, everybody.